Well, hello everyone, all my crafty friends. How are you? Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but more specifically in Alaska, as we have said a few hundred times, right? Matter of fact, I think we're almost at 160 videos. Isn't that crazy? So, this is the book that we are in the midst of making something similar to. Okay, not exactly, but something similar. And so we're going to start that in just a second. But before we do, I do want to let you know a few things. The first one, January paper pumpkin date has already passed. It's always on the 10th. I almost said 12th. On the 10th of the month is the last day to order the paper pumpkin for that month. However, if you are a paper pumpkin subscriber, if you want to sign up today to get the February paper pumpkin, then you can get the January, February, March add-on dies, okay, which is this. Isn't that great? I just love those. Product of the month, we are in the midst of our second month. It started in December, in our second month, and this one, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you that here in just a moment. $5 for this stamp set once you reach the $75 threshold, before shipping, tax, all that stuff. One of the kits that is new this month, another kit that is new this month. I do know how to talk. And of course, we are also in the midst of bonus days, which started January 6th and will end February 2nd. And then you will spend those bonus days dollars or coupons in March, starting in February, starting on February 3rd. Okay? All right. Let me show you that. I thought I had it right here. I'll find it here in just a moment. What did I do with it? Okay, I'll show it to you here in a minute. So, this is the one that we are sort of very loosely basing our new little booklet on. And so far, we have done this. We did our flower. It's got the leaves behind it. It's got this little collage, if you will. Then we also did this. We cut out a circle, put it on the front of that, and it's going to go in that pocket. We're going to do another taller thing to go behind that. We also did this that goes in that tall pocket, which we could also do another item for that if we decide we want to do that. All right, so this is what we have done so far. I've cut out a few more things, just various assorted items, and these are what are left over from the other day. This is where we cut this corner here. Okay, so that's what's left over from that. I've got a stamp out because I'm probably going to use it. I also cut out a little flag here, but what I want to do, now these come from, let me show you that, Nested Essentials, okay, which are still available. So, first of all, we're going to take the largest flag, and then we took the second flag to cut this piece out. But what I've done is I took a piece of the Secret C and I folded it over so that I have the amount of space, you can see there, and I'm going to overlap that fold. Okay, so I've got the fold. I'm going to put the top of this die above that fold. Now I do want to have it straight. Okay, so like this, and I am going to grab a couple of Post-it notes. I'm going to get it, I'm going to put this under here just so I can see. Okay, and I am going to make this even. I'm touching the corners there. I'm going to put I'm going to go ahead and put 2 since I've got a folded cardstock under here, like that. And then, with that folded over, I am going to put it in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is the mini with the plates that come with it. So I'm going to put 1 and 2, and then, look at here. You see how I have these Post-it notes out beyond that? I do want to make sure that they are inside this. Okay, so they're inside this space. So I don't want this one hanging out over here on the edge either. So I'm going to pull it off, put it down. Then I'm going to put plate 2 on top of that. And I think I've mentioned to you before, I kind of angle it in and then lay it flat. Okay, then I am going to get that in there and start it through. Now, because I am doing through 2 layers, I'm going to go ahead and go back through the other way as well. I should, you know what, I'm not sure that I got beyond. Yeah, I did. Okay, so let's go back through now. I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so close up those wings. I wasn't sure that I had gotten beyond this end, so I wanted to make sure that I had done that. I think it went through just fine. Yep, went through just fine. In other words, what I'm checking to make sure is that it went through all the layers, because I've got 2 layers of fairly heavy cardstock. All right, now what that does for me is when I open this up, I've got a little flapped thing here. Isn't that just too cute? Now, I will show you this. Woohoo! I don't want everything. I will show you this. When I put this in here, you see how I've got just the barest little bit of dots up there at the top? I could have put this so that it was completely below those dots like this and not on the dots. All right, it doesn't really matter as long as you don't cut any of that. Now, what I want to do to decorate this, where did my little yellow piece go? There it is I'm going to put this on here. But before I do that, I could write on this, but I don't really want to. What I'm going to do is take my, remember I selected 3 or 4 colors. I'm going to take my Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to take the flower out of whatever. Remember, it doesn't have to be the same set that I did not want to do that in. I wanted to do that in black. Let me redo that. I'm going to put that back, clean this, and do that in my black. Okay. So, my Memento Black, I got a white one of these that did not have any ink in it, and I used the black Memento and re-inker and filled this up. Now I've got black on there, and I think I want my flower to go like this. And there we go. Ta-da! Don't you just love that? Now what I can do is take my yellow and my green. So I have Lemon Lolly and my Coastal Cabana, and take a couple of blocks. I've got my Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll just put it aside for the moment. And my Lemon Lolly. There we go. And I am going to use my blender pen. Okay, now it looks like it's got red on there, but if I were to, we'll do it on the back of this since I don't have anything. You see there's no color on there, all right? It's just stained red, and that often happens. All right, so then I'm going to pick up some of that Lemon Lolly, and it's going to be, it's on Lemon Lolly. This is the Lemon Lolly cardstock, and I am going to color my little flower, okay, with that black, or inside that black memento. Okay, if I need a little bit more, which I could use a little bit more or get that from the edges. Got 2 more petals to do. There we go. We're going to let that dry, okay? Now, I don't want to touch the edges if I can help it, because you see where I touched the edges just a little bit, but actually I'm not minding it because it gave it a little bit of character. All right, I am going to get rid of my color. Now, I could just go to the other end, or I can get rid of the color on this end, just in case I have to come back to the yellow. I'm not going to worry about it. And then going to take my green. Again, I want to stay, my Coastal Cabana, I want to stay away from those edges if I can. And color my little leaves. It's not the end of the world if you touch the black. Now, I could have gone ahead and stamped it in the green, like I started to do the Coastal Cabana, but I really kind of like this a little bit better. Just, you know, my own personal preference. Whatever your personal preference is, you do you. And again, you may not even be using this stamp set, just some stamp set that works for you. All right, so clean that out again. And because nobody's going to be able to see the back, I can just use the back. Okay, get rid of those 2. I don't want them in the way now, but I do want the cap. Put that on there. Now I've got this. Where's my base? Here it is. And I'm going to glue that right in there. And let's just go ahead and use some Stampin Seal, just because that's what's here and that's what I grabbed. Okay. There we go. Got a little bit on me. There we go. Okay. And there. Now, this, let me close these. We don't want ink on other things yet. I mean, you know, we may eventually, but not right now. Okay. All right. I really like that. All right. In our book, then, sort of a book, we can, you know what? I might even, no, I want to see whatever I put behind that. I want to put that on the edge, kind of like that. And I may even use a paper clip or something. Let me see what I've got. And of course I don't see one right here. Oh, but you know what I do see? I do see this. Now, I don't know that I want to leave that there, but just because I am going to have it there, I do want to hold it in. So I'm going to leave it there for the moment. Now what I want to do is put something tall-ish behind this. So, oh, I was going to use that, but you know what? I think I'm going to use this washi tape. I love this thing. So I put a whole piece of washi tape on just a white background. Okay, now the colors are not exact, but you know, they're not bad. So I want to use that. So what I'm going to do is pull this out, and I want to have a straight edge right here. So I'm going to cut that off. Hello. There we go. And let's go for a straight edge over here. And you know what? I might make it, let's go for about 2 3/4. There we go. All right. So I know I've used, kind of lost some of that, but that's okay. Now, this is 6 inches tall. We should have remembered that. Meaning I should have remembered that. So I'm going to go about 5 1/4. And we're going to cut that off. Then what I'm going to do with it is make it into a tag. So I'm just going to cut off. Then I take that same thing, unless you have a tag punch, and turn it over. Put it in there or on there. And cut that off so they are exactly the same, or, you know, as close as we get, right? All right, and let's go ahead, and I think I'll use this punch. Now, remember, this is part of these 3 punches that are just wonderful. I love them. There's so many things you can use them for. And I even keep them right on my desktop now because I use them so much. But let's go in, and we want to look on both sides and make sure we're as even as we can be. Once you sort of hold it, you haven't quite punched it, but you're holding it, you can look at it and make sure that it's even. Punch that hole. There we go. Now, because I've punched that hole, I can put some yarn in it, or whatever I can find. And you know what? One of the things I love is this petal pink and white. If you happen to have had that ribbon on your list of things to buy, and you'll notice I've put this little jobby here. You see how that floats around? And I can pull it back tight, or however long I want it. All right, let's go for, how long do we want this? Maybe 5 inches. So we'll pull out just a little bit more-ish, somewhere in there. I am going to fold this over. Notice, by the way, there's kind of a dull side and a shiny side. These thinner ribbons are wonderful for that, or wonderful for this kind of thing, but they're also wonderful for some of the features that are built into them. Okay, pull that up. There we go. I could and probably should tie a string around there. So let me grab one. Hold on one sec. I have one right here. This is one that came in probably a paper pumpkin. Okay. So we're going to pull it out a little bit, wrap it around that top there. Fold that in. Oh, it didn't go in somehow. Let's try that again. It's because you're watching me. I tell you, when I do it, when nobody's watching. There we go. Pull that nice and tight. And another knot on top of it. There we go. I could tie that in a ribbon if I mean a bow if I wanted. But really, all I need is that. I'm going to clip that off. There we go. All right, and then this is going to go behind this. All right. Now, obviously, this won't work. Matter of fact, I'm going to take it off so we can see it a little better. Okay, so there we go. We need to decorate this. Not quite ready to do that yet, but we need to do it. We've got this, but we've also got, now this could go up here. That might actually even be better. Or, depending on what we put in this space. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do this space. So, what I want for this is another pocket. And so, to do that, I want to take my... I had some... Here we go. All right, we haven't used a whole lot of our lemon lolly, so let's use that. And this is a little too wide, but I'm going to fold this back. So I'm going to mark it. I know I've got a pencil or pen here somewhere. And... okay, this will work. We're going to go for about right there, and it'll be a little lower than this because, again, we're going to fold it under. So that's my spot. I'm going to move this out, bring in my paper trimmer, and notice I'm not really cutting. I'm not really measuring things, which is just fine. All right, this is the extra piece. Now what I want to do is go to about, I don't want 1/2, I want about 3/8. So I'm going to score that, turn it again. Notice I'm doing this on the right hand side, 3/8, so not quite 1/2 inch. Score, do it again, 3/8. So two little marks under the 1/2 inch and score. Okay. Once I have those scored, then I am going to trim off up to that line. Just a tiny little triangle. Same thing over here. Tiny little triangle. Here, I am going to, now, I could go straight across, okay? Do you see what I'm showing there? Straight across. But I could also sort of come in. I don't want to go over that line. Come into it and out. So instead of doing straight across, this is where that line would have been. All right. It's not going to matter because won't be able to see that. So I want to give it a little bit. Don't go over that X where there you go. And we've got all of those. Throw those away. Okay. And then I'm going to take and fold burnish on my score lines. Okay, fold, burnish, fold, burnish. Okay, like that. And now I have my little pocket. I do want to punch my little thumb hole out. So something like that. There we go. All right. Now, if you want to, at this point, you could measure across the front. Because you could, so this is 4 3/4. All right. So you could put, for example, I could put, where did I go with it? Let's say I've got this piece and it's big enough. Oh, excuse me. I could put, might make something out of that. But if I have designer series paper, I could cut it 4 1/4 by 3 1/2 and actually go down. So it would be 4 by 3 1/4 and put that on the front of this to decorate it. We're not going to do that right now because we'll do something else. But now put glue on the back of this and it fits right in this space. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Where is my glue? Because it should be, here it is. Okay, so I like to use the liquid glue. It gives me just a moment or two to move that around if I really need to. I do want to come as low as I can without being exactly on that bottom. And I want to be sure I am evenly spaced between the two folds. Okay. Get that in there. And you know how I've said push in so that you've got plenty of space? You don't actually have to do that because, whoops, let me put a block on here to hold that. I need something heavier block. 1 second. There we go. We want to hold that down. Again, I got just a tad of glue on my finger tips. I'm going to get me some of that hand sanitizer to get rid of it. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and clean my this is what I should have done, is put some stamp on that, but put a stamp on that, but we're not going to worry about it for right now. Okay, I think it's holding down just fine. Everything is well and good. And now, there we go. Okay, what else do I want to do? I think I want, trying to throw some things in the garbage, it looks like. Let me put, I've got so much stuff out here on the desktop. Let's put a few things away. And then, there we go. Put the lid on there, close this. How messy does your workspace get when you are working? Surely not as messy as mine. Or maybe it is. I think we all pretty much do that. Okay, so this could go in here, maybe. Anyway, we'll do something with that. That actually could have this on it. Oh, no, that's not bad at all. Or maybe this and, oh, I kind of like this, except that's just that smidgen not wide enough. Okay. Let's see, do I want to do, okay, so not that. All right, so here's what I do want to show you, though. These are flip-flaps. And I want to use the flip-flaps on here because I can then put photos or whatever else I want to put in there. For example, I could put this in there. It's not big enough, or too big for that one. There we go. I could put this in here. I peel this off and I can put it wherever I have a wide enough space. Right here. As a matter of fact, I can turn it like this, so that you just, if this is sealed down, flip that up. Now, I could have a whole string of them, or, I mean, several of them going down, or I could have something like, let's say that's under. This could be here, even though it's wider, and it could flip up. So I could have flip-flaps kind of going all over the place. Now, let me tell you the sizes of these so that you can get an idea of what you might like to have. There's 3x3, 3x4. Now, the 3x4 has both a top and a side flip-flap, because this is on the 3-inch side, this is on the 4-inch side. There's a 4x4, and there's also 4x6. And again, because it's not square, you can get the attachment pieces on the 4x6 side, I mean the 6-inch side or the 4-inch side. Okay, so cool. And I'm going to be using these more in cards because I just love them. All right, I think I am going to do this there, but I want to go back to this and decorate it a little bit. Where do I want that? I'm not sure where we're going to put that. But look at these. These are so awesome. By the way, these are called Covered in Flowers Accents. And when you pull them out, they're already cut. All you have to do then is either use them like they are, color them, or whatever floats your boat with them. So let's pull that one out, this leaf out, and that way you're always sure that and here's another leaf. That way you're always sure that these are going to match because you color them. Let me get everything else out of the way. The colors that you have. Okay, so I might even... No, I definitely think I want to color them. But let's see. Okay, so let's color these. And I think... Hello. That's when you have too many things on your desk, when you keep pulling stuff away. Let's put our take your pick tool away. All right, here's our flowers. And so let's pull back these. Now I could go ahead and, depending on what colors I have chosen, I could go ahead and use my blends markers, which are amazing and I love them. But let's go, since I haven't pulled them out, and I do already have this out, let's go ahead and use these. Okay, and where's my blends marker? Here it is. And let's just go ahead and color this in. Now, in the interest of time, I may not finish all of this because I can easily finish this once I have put it on in my book. All right. So I may not finish it. We'll just see. I don't want to take forever. Not that it really takes all that long, but it takes a bit of time. All right, and let's just go with the other end. Color in our leaves. This is going to give us a lot of really good variance in the color. Not sure, though, that this is going to do what I want. Yeah. We'll make it work, right? All right, so the question for the day is, and the reason I have a question of the day is to get interaction on the video, but also I really want to know. I'm going to put that lid on there while I work on this. So the question is, shoot, I just forgot it. I had it. I'll have to look on my page here in just a minute. It's what happens when you go talking. Oh, my question of the day is, what is your favorite movie? Okay, are you a movie watcher? And if so, we need some more. Where did my Coastal Cabana go? Here it is. All right. Yep. There we go. Some people are not movie watchers. I love movies. I'm not a TV watcher. but I do love to watch movies. Not that I sit down and watch them all that often. But let's fill in some more color here where it's a little light. Looks a little amateurish right now, doesn't it? Not bad, but let's put some darker color along this center line. There we go. Not sure if I like that or not. Okay, let's go on the back. You know what? I'm going to try something else. Let's try just inking it up. Let's see how that works. Okay, then I'm going to go in here with my reverse tweezers that are here. Now, these are not the Stampin' Up ones, but they will work. And let's see what happened on it. Come on. Okay, not quite. Let's keep working at it. We can draw down. See if we got some good color on there now. Okay, a little bit more. Right in here and right in there. Then pick it up. Actually, I kind of like that. That looked great. We'll have to do that. All right, we're going to do the same thing then. Whoop, we need our other 2 leaves. Or no, we just had 1 leaf, didn't we? Okay, put that in there. Get some ink on it. And hey, it's quicker too. A little bit more. Yeah, okay, I like that. Let's do our lemon lolly for our flowers. And then what we're going to do, I like this. I think it's, oh, got green on there. I don't want that on my yellow. Oh, that's cool. It's pretty heavy, but I really like it. Now, it looks like, and I did not realize this, these would come out. So, I'm going to put a little bit more ink there. What I'm saying is these middle pieces will come out. Let's see what we went with. That's cool. We're going to have to put some black in the middle. So, to do that, I am going to get my black and I am going to, all right, got to get this off of there again. Oh, it's already off. All right, whoops. I'm just going to go here on the edge. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I got to clean that off. All right, where is my paper? There we go. Clean that off. Boy, that black is heavy. All right, I think we're good there. Okay, so let's go back and see if we even like this. Where did it go? I lost my book. Oh, here it is. Woohoo! Close the black. All right. There. And there. Maybe there. I actually kind of like that. Isn't that just so cool? Whoops, this one's trying to see how the middle of those will come out. I think I want to keep them in there, though. Something like that. Okay, let's do it. I do want to be sure that I get glue on all the little parts and pieces. So I'm going to kind of do a circle so that I get, like I said, all the little parts and pieces. There we go. And it leaves, oh yeah, I just really like that. Okay, there we go. Put glue on the back of our little leaf. And it also, like I said, leaves the edges open. And which do you like better, this or this? All that work I did, and I decided I didn't like it as well. Not funny? Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes. Now, where did this go? It does sort of need that up there, doesn't it? I like that. On the edge, maybe. You know what? I'm going to put it over here. There, I like that. All right. Nice, nice. Oh, no, because I don't want to have it on the back of that. So it may go here. Could I move this around a little bit more? I may end up not even using that silly thing. All right. So there we go. And I'm already at 40 minutes, so we're going to stop there. I promise we are going to finish this next time. I am going to put this here. This might even, where's the opening? Go something like that. And I'll have to cut that tip off. Let me shave it off real quick. All right. So, that in there. This, which way do I want this to go? Yes, like this. There we go. And then, I'm not sure what's going to go in there, but I do know this is going to go here. And I think I want it to go this direction. So it will fit. So there we go. And there. I love it. Okay. There, there, there. We got to figure out what we're going to do here. We got to put something in this pocket. And here, below our little flip-flap. We might even add another flip-flap. And here. So, but we're going to try to finish it next time. I really did not mean for this to last 4 videos, but that's okay. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you next time. Have a good one, guys.